Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of PhotoDope. Now I know I've been gone a while, but I took that time to come up with some great video ideas, and today's episode is no exception. We'll be going over beauty photography and how to get into it for less than $1,000. That's right, the camera, the lens, the lights, the modifiers will cost you less than $1,000. Total. Now if you've ever opened a magazine before, you've seen beauty photography. It's the kind of photography that sells beauty products like makeup, shampoos and conditioners, fragrances, lipsticks, anti-aging creams, and more. Beauty photography definitely has its own look and feel, but you don't need $20,000 worth of gear to make it happen. We're going to break down the lighting, lenses, cameras, and settings you need to make this sort of thing happen, so let's get started. So when I first got into photography, I was shooting with the crop sensor Nikon D300. As hard as I tried, I could never get the kind of beauty photos that I saw in magazines, and I thought the crop sensors just weren't capable of this. Turns out, I was wrong. I shot these two images recently on the same crop sensor Nikon, and I think they hold up pretty well. Now I do recommend that if you're just getting into photography that you make the investment in a full sensor camera. You can get a bunch of amazing cameras at a great price if you buy used. I've added a few links to my favorite full sensor cameras in the description. If you already have a crop sensor camera though, just know you'll still be able to pull this off, and if you're looking for something to invest in lenses because they'll make a bigger difference in your photography than a camera body. Speaking of lenses, my suggestion for beauty photography would be to shoot at a focal length of over 70mm. Why? Lens distortion. So when you shoot a close portrait of someone at say 24 or 50mm, you'll notice that a person's face takes on a cartoonish kind of look that's not flattering at all. Now an 85mm lens is good, but if I had to choose one lens for beauty photography, it would be a macro lens at around 100mm. Nikon makes them in 105mm, Canon makes them at 100mm, but they're essentially the same idea. The reason I like this lens is because not only will it allow you to take great distortion-free shots of a person's face, it will also allow you to get in close and shoot the details of something like eye makeup or lipstick. Plus, if you're a wedding photographer, you can use it on details and bridal portraits. I also recommend a zoom lens at around 70 to 200mm because it's an indispensable lens for headshots and portraits, though it does lack macro capabilities. However, you'll be able to get great shots throughout the entire focal range, and that's something that can't be overlooked. As far as lights go, while you can totally go nuts and get 3 or 4 monolights with beauty dishes, grids, parabolic umbrellas, and other modifiers, I'm able to keep the cost low by switching to hot shoe flashes. Why? Because light is light, and if you know your gear, you can make it happen. Now if you've never heard about shooting with hot shoe flashes, take a look at my other video where I explain what you'll need and show you the results of other photographers employing this style of shooting. To get you started, I'd recommend at least 2 flashes, but 3 is better. Heck, even 1 light will get the job done in the right situation. The most important part here will be the modifiers. One of the most common modifiers in beauty photography is the beauty dish. You can see it in the reflections in pretty much all beauty work. Now, true beauty dishes can cost several $100s, but I'm getting a similar effect from a $50 f-stoppers flash disc. We get the same catch light in the eye and a similar quality of light that we get from a beauty dish with a diffusion sock. With that as a key light, I tend to add gridded flashes for my hair or accent lights. You can even add some color gels to those lights for a little more visual interest. If you have a 4th light, you can use it to light your backdrop, but it's not always necessary. Oh, by the way, I really recommend using something like a reflector under your model's chin to open up those shadows. As far as camera settings go, I recommend an ISO around 100 to 320, shutter speed around 1/60th of a second or below sync speed, and an aperture of f8 to f16. As far as focusing goes, focus on the eye closest to the camera. Put that all together with some good glass, some good light, and you'll be sure to get an image that's tack sharp and beautiful. Oh, and beauty photography is all about the makeup, so find yourself a talented makeup artist and a model, and try this out for yourself. Oh, before we leave though, let me run the numbers for you. Believe it or not, I shot this image on a Nikon D300, which you can now get for, surprise surprise, $300. I shot it with a super old Nikon 80 to 200mm zoom lens, which is another $300. I used 3 Yongnuo 563 flashes at $64 each, a Yongnuo trigger for $42, the f-stoppers flash disc for $50, 3 Cowboy Studio light stands for $45, 2 honeycomb grids for $10 each, 1 cheap umbrella swivel for $6 that I'm only using on my key light. I'm using the included mini stand for the other flashes, a 5-in-1 photo reflector for $10, and a reflector holder that I use as a boom arm for $15. A 16 gig compact flash card for $18, which brings me to an amazing total of $998, which leaves $2 for buying a bag of sweet chili Doritos. Amazing, right? There you have it, folks, a true beauty photography setup on the cheap that will make you the envy of all your friends. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you guys have any photo gear related questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'll catch you guys in the next video.